Okay, in this video we're going to do a few basic constructions that everybody ought to be able to do in geometry. So first off, we're going to copy a segment. Follow the instructions there. Step 1, use a straight edge to draw a segment longer than AB. So not really measuring it, just making sure it's longer than AB. Right. I'm going to label a point C as one of the endpoints there. And then we're going to set our compass at the length of AB. So we're going to put the point at A, open it up so it's the width from A to B. Come down, put the point of our compass at point C there. And once it's lined up, we can mark off that distance. Mark the new intersection as D. And then so from C to D should be the same length as A to B. And if you want to, you can go ahead and erase the extra past D there. So now it actually matches up. So that is copying a segment. Next up, we're going to construct a segment bisector. So, and in this case, the segment bisector will also be considered a perpendicular bisector. So, first step, place the compass point at A. So, put the point at A. Make sure that our compass setting is greater than halfway between A and B. Right, so all the way to B is there, halfway somewhere in there, so anywhere in between. All right, and we're going to draw an arc. That arc's going to go above and below the line. Then we're going to keep our compass setting the same. I'm not going to change it, the width of our compass. We're going to take our compass over here to point B and draw an arc that should intersect the first arc we drew. Right. So, and now we can use a straight edge to line up those intersections and draw a line that connects if my straight edge would work. Let's see if I can get a different straight edge. Line up the straight edge. And draw a straight line there. And so where that line intersects line AB, we could label as M, because that is going to be the midpoint. So A to B, exactly half of AB would be A to M or M to B. All right. So next up, we're going to copy an angle. So we're going to draw a line and label a point on the line as D. So get my straight edge. Always use a straight edge to draw your straight lines. There's my line and the point on the line. The label is D. All right. So then we're going to go up to the original angle. And we're going to put the point at A. And we're going to draw an arc. Right? So we're going to draw an arc that hits both sides of the angle. And without changing our compass setting, we're going to come down here to D. Put our compass on D. And make an arc similar to the one we just made from point A. Probably make it a little bit bigger than what you think A was, because we need to trim this down to make it the same size as the arc from A. So now that we got that arc, we're going to come over here and use our compass as a measuring tool now and measure the distance between the two intersections on that arc we drew on angle A. And then we're going to use that width, come down here, put the point on the intersection of line D down here, and mark off that distance. I'm going to call that intersection F. And now to finish it up, we're just going to draw a ray that goes from D and through F. So line up your straight edge. Draw a line from D through F. And don't know why my straight edge is not working here. Alright, try it one more time. Line up D and F. And make a straight line. There we go. So this angle we just created should be a pretty exact copy of angle A that we started off with. Alright, now on to the next one. Constructing an angle bisector. So we want to draw the ray that is going to completely split this angle perfectly in half. So first step, place the compass point at C. Draw an arc that intersects both sides of the angle. So make an arc, hits both sides. And we're going to label those intersections as A and B. So then we place the compass point at A. And with our point at A, we're going to draw an arc out here in the middle. And without changing our compass setting, leaving the same compass setting, we're going to place the point of our compass at B and make another arc that intersects the arc we made from point A. Let's label that intersection as D. And then we're going to connect C and D with a ray. So then we've got our segment, our angle bisector, this angle at the top. ACD should be the same measure as BCD. Next one, constructing a line that's perpendicular to a line and goes through a point not on the line. So point P is not on line M. We want to draw a line that goes through point P and ends up being perpendicular to line M. So first step, put the compass point on point P. And then make sure your compass is open past the line. And we're going to draw an arc that's going to intersect line M in two places. Like so. I'll label those intersections as A and B. And the only reason we're really labeling these is just so we can identify where to go with the compass. Alright, so then we're going to draw an arc with a center of A. So we're going to put point A, where that arc intersected on this side. Make sure your compass is open more than half the distance to B. And we're going to make an arc down here below, like so. Then with our compass remaining the same setting, I'll put the point at B, and we're going to make an arc that intersects the one we made from A. And take our straight edge, we'll call this Q. So we want to draw a line that goes from P to Q. Some little digital things are a little harder to line up than you would think. Alright, so from P through Q. And so that should be a perpendicular line, so that should be a right angle right there. And that is constructing a line that is perpendicular to the line and goes through a point not on the line. Nice long title there. Alright, next one. Constructing a line that passes through a point and is parallel to another line. So this time we got line M, point P that is not on line M. And we want to construct a line that's going to go through point P but be parallel to M. So first step, draw points Q and R on line M. Once again, we're putting these added points in here mainly for reference. All right, so Q and R. We're going to draw PQ. We're going to connect P and Q with a line. So line up through P and Q. And we're going to draw a line that goes through P, goes a little past P. All right. So next up, we're going to put the point of our compass at point Q. And we're going to make an arc that intersects side QR and side QP. Like so. And then with the same compass setting, we're going to go and put an arc, that same setting. I set it on P. So put our compass point at P. We're going to draw an arc similar to the one we drew from Q. Right? And the point P is here. We want a parallel line that goes through it, so we want to make sure our arc goes below what looks like where the parallel line would go through. So right now we're going through the process of copying an angle. So we got the two arcs. Now we're going to measure the width between the intersections of the first arc that we made from Q. So put the point at the top intersection. I can get it to line up here. Oh, close enough. All right, so measure our distance. Go on the width of the arc there between the two sides. Now I'm going to come up and line my point up here with this point and mark off intersection. I'll call this top intersection T and this one down here S. And so to make the parallel line, I'm going to line up point P with that intersection at S and draw in our line. So the reason this works is angle TPS and angle PQR would be considered corresponding angles on two lines that are cut by a transversal, TQ. And when your corresponding angles are congruent, corresponding angles converse theorem tells us that the lines would be parallel if the corresponding angles are congruent. So PS and QR should be parallel since angle TPS and angle PQR are congruent. Next construction, a line perpendicular to another line that passes through a point on the line. So this time point P is on the line, and we are going to create a line that's perpendicular to line M and goes through point P. So first step, put the point of our compass at point P. And we're going to make an arc that hits in two places. Those two intersections, we're going to label those as A and B. And so now we're going to take our compass and we're going to put it at point A. And we're going to make sure that the compass setting is wider than AP. So we're going to have to open it up a little bit. And then we're going to make an arc. And you can choose to make an arc above or below the line. But since I've got my arc down here, just to keep there from being a bunch of mess below, I'm going to go ahead and make the arc above. So then come over here to point B without changing our compass setting. And we're going to make the arc that will intersect the arc we made from A. We're going to label that as point C. And now we just need to draw a line that goes through CP, or create line CP. So line up our straight edge and draw our line. So again, that should be a perpendicular line. So we should have a right angle there at angle P. All right. Next one, copying a triangle. All right, so we want to make a triangle that is the same as triangle ABC. So first step is going to be to construct DE so that it is congruent to AB. So this is AB. So basically what that's telling us to do is copy segment AB, which was the first construction we did. Which first step of copying a segment is to draw a line that is longer than the segment we're copying. So, and then we're going to measure the length of AB, or find the distance between points A and B with our compass. Put the point at A and open it up so the lead of our pencil sits at B. Come down here, put the point of our compass at the left end point and mark off the distance of AB. So now this segment, we're going to label that as DE. And just like before, to clean it up so we don't have a little extra tail on our triangle, I'm going to erase the extra past point E there. So now, next step is to draw an arc with a radius of BC. Or no, with a length of AC, sorry. Skipped ahead there. So I'm going to measure the length of AC. So set my compass width, the distance from A to C. I want to come down here, put the point of my compass at D. And I want to make an arc. And I can see that point C is up and to the left of A. So I know that the last point of my triangle here It's got to be up and to the left of D, so I want to make sure my arc covers this area where I would expect the third point of the triangle to be. All right, so then next we're going to create a arc with a radius of BC, so we're going to find the length of BC. Setting our compass to that width. And come down here, put the point of our compass at E. Get it to stay there. And mark off that distance there. So now we're going to label that intersection as point F. And all there is left to do to copy the triangles is to connect the segments, or connect the dots, the points. So D to F. I'll line it up. And D to that intersection F. Draw in our segment DF. And then we need to make a segment that goes from E to F. Like so. Alright, so now triangle DEF should be an exact copy of triangle ABC. And that completes the basic constructions. I'll bring up some more difficult ones here on the next video.